something I just noticed, and we'll put the live shot up of the stage. USA, USA. This has taken me back to the DNC that had more American flags, I think, than any DNC I'd ever seen since 1992. You've covered a lot more of these than I have. Is there ever been a time that the closing argument in the last week has made a significant difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in 1960, that then Senator John Kennedy's campaign closed pretty strong and overwhelmed Nixon. When I say overwhelmed, Nixon lost by 120,000 votes. It was the closest popular vote ever. It was a stunning situation, and Kennedy really closed hard and fast. Now we have two candidates who are making mistakes. So in the Madison Square Garden exposition on Sunday, which was a positive for Donald Trump, the undercard was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Now, Trump, I know this for a fact, he didn't know that comedian was who disparaged all Puerto Ricans. He didn't even know the guy was on the bill. But that's on Trump. He should have known. And he's got a lot of people working for him that are dunderheads. I know them. They wouldn't work for me or you, Leland. We wouldn't let them in the door. Okay?
You know, it's interesting. I got a text from a huge Donald Trump supporter. Huge. Donald Trump says he doesn't know the roast comedian, who the roast comedian is, and doesn't know who invited him. I wonder who the idiot is that invited him, and you just answered. It's the dunderheads in the campaign who didn't vet the jokes. Yeah.
Yes.
But,
no,
I guess.
Look, but let me get to Harris. Let me get to Harris. So,
well, hold on. Just stay on Trump for a second. We'll get to Harris in a second. But doesn't Trump wants to be the president of the United States. You want the nuclear codes. You want the nuclear codes. You're going to be the leader of the free world. Don't you have a responsibility to say, hey, in Donald Trump's favorite words, you're fired to somebody over that? This is a man who wants the ultimate responsibility and wants to take no responsibility.
Maybe he will. I don't know. But I think it's small ball about that. The overarch is he's got some bad people working for him. And I know that to be true. They're obsequious people. They're only there because they kiss his butt. And that's not what you want. Now, on the bromance thing, whatever that is, I don't even know what that is. I think Lara Trump is very powerful within the campaign, and she's a pretty smart woman. Then I don't know the woman's name. I should. But she's very high up. Pat Summerall's daughter, the ex-football player and broadcaster. You don't see much of her.
Susie Wiles?
But very powerful in the Trump campaign. Yes, that's it. Thank you. And very smart. So I'm not buying this bro stuff. Trump has always presented himself as kind of a macho guy. He's not going to change and be sensitive Alan Alda for us. He's not. But that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that you have a campaign now that is centered around hatred. And on NewsNation tomorrow night, we're going to have a 2-hour exposition at Town Hall on the presidential sweepstakes. Now, the network, NewsNation, may have made a mistake by elevating me into a primary role here. I am not going to tolerate any hatred. I am not going to tolerate any kind of defamation not backed up. I'm not going to. And if they try it, they're going to come up against me. And on Halloween, that's not a good place to be. So with Harris, if she pulls a stunt tonight by saying we have to go back to January 6th, she'll lose for sure. She's running behind now. Her campaign is prepared to lose, unlike Hillary Clinton in 2016, who rented out a gigantic Jacob Javits Center at millions of dollars. That's how confident they were a week before the vote that they were going to win. The Harris campaign, I'm not going to say they believe they will lose, but they certainly are not optimistic at this point. They're neutral or pessimistic.
Now, there's this argument going around, right, that because Donald Trump is doing so much better in the polls relative to where he was in 2016 and 2020, he's going to get that same hidden Trump vote that is going to come out. Republicans keep saying people are no longer ashamed to say they support Donald Trump. There has been this awakening in America. Those two things cannot be true at once. For as much as you say the Harris campaign is ready to lose, my reporting is sort of half and half on that. The Trump campaign seems only ready to win, which is a dangerous spot to be a week out.
They are confident and at some points arrogant. All the speculation about who's going to vote for whom is dopey and a waste of everybody's time. The key stat is the Republican registration, which has surged in Pennsylvania and some other swing states. When you see people registering for a certain political party, that means there's a 90% certainty that those people will vote for that top ticket.
Yeah.
They are doing that because they're suffering. And the question all Trump has to do for the next 7 days is go, think back 4 years ago, take a look at your wallet. You want 4 more years of that massive spending, no plan? That's all he has to do.
I want to get back to what you said, though. You said he surrounds himself by people who kiss his butt, who dunderheads in your
Not all of them, but
not all of them, but some
portion of them.
Right. So,
right.
Do you understand the voters, and maybe this speaks more about Donald Trump than anything, who say, I was better off 4 years ago. I would like to vote for Donald Trump, but I do not want this guy who hires dunderheads in his campaign to have dunderheads in the White House and at the Pentagon. That's a problem.
Well, then you can't vote for... Then no, it's not. You can't vote for Harris either. You think she's got a bunch of geniuses running her campaign? When she goes on The View and says, I wouldn't change anything. You think she's being prepped? I mean, that woman can't answer a question. Cannot answer a question.
Yeah,
you think PhDs are running that operation? So if you can't vote for Trump because of his surrogates, then you can't vote because hers are ridiculous.
We wrote in war notes, you go to war with the candidate you have. That may be part of the problem for Kamala Harris's team.
She's a machine. No.
Right, you go to...
You're misreading it. No.
Okay.
No. She's a machine candidate. She always has been. She does what the machine tells her to do. Just like Biden did for 4 years.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Okay, well,
exactly what I was saying.
You don't go to war with the candidate you have when the candidate you have is going to say anything you tell her to say. Trump's the total opposite. You don't know what he's going to say.
Well, that's true. I want to give credit where credit is due, because you have a prediction coming out on October 31st, which is the prediction of who is going to win the presidency. And back at the end of 2023, we had you on the program and asked for your prediction. You weren't exactly happy that I sprung the question. That's fine. Roll the tape. I wanted to get you on 2024. Will it be Biden versus Trump?
I don't think Biden's going to make it.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, there are serious problems behind the scenes with the president that the public does not know about.
The victory lap is yours, sir.
I don't want to. This is a no gloat zone, in addition to being a no spin zone. But I was the first national commentator to say he wasn't going to make it. And that's because I went through what he has with my mother. This is exactly how I came to that analysis. My mother had, and she passed at age 93, what Biden has. It doesn't get better. So you ask me a question in late 23, I know he's going to deteriorate. Now, the question becomes, when did the White House people know and when did Kamala Harris know? She doesn't even admit. She doesn't even admit that he's diminished. And so I bring it back to the fact that most voters vote in the moment. This is why Harris may be making a huge mistake tonight. They vote in the moment, all right? They're not happy with the economy. They're not happy with the open border, and they know the Democratic candidate for president simply is not telling the truth about many important issues. That's a tough trifecta to overcome.
Well, 20 minutes away, 15 minutes away from the speech. The USA banners are up. I think that's interesting. I don't know why, but struck me in terms of the stagecraft. Bill,
that's
good to see you. We'll see you tomorrow night.
We live in the USA.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, you better watch, Leland. You're going to learn a lot if you watch. And,
tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
The special that you did with me.
I know.
Is going to run
on
right
after the town hall.
On confronting the presidents. Yeah.
It's 4 great hours of television. 4 great hours of television. On balance, the 2-hour Cuomo town hall. Then you get to sit around and O'Reilly and I talk about the presidents. He ranks the best and the worst. Bill, thank you. Special edition of
I think
the
my
town
picture should
hall
be
with
bigger.
Cuomo.
I think my picture should be as. I think my picture should be as big as Cuomo's here. You see that? They got the little picture of me and Stephen A. Giant picture of Cuomo. It's all. I got to get my agent on the phone. I mean, what is this?
Go, please. You know what? I'll tell you. I got some complaints too. Your agent can file those as well. Bill, thank you. Big night tomorrow night. You'll be in New York City. I'll come see you down at the studio. Special guest, Sarah Palin, Robert. Yeah, there it is. RFK Jr., Sarah Palin, among others. Warnotes.com to subscribe to our newsletter. That is our daily 4 p.m. newsletter. Comes out into your email inboxes. Our thoughts on the most important stories of the day, of which some Bill O'Reilly will shoot down. Warnotes.com to subscribe for free. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.